Hello. Where are my heart? Hold on. Beautifuls and beloveds. I'm making fun of Facebook. That's where I got this from. The little hearts. I'm like, well, if I'm not going to get my hearts because I'm being shadow banned, I'm just going to put my own hearts up there. But it's my love to you, really. So, beautifuls and beloveds. Hi. How ridiculous. But it's fun to do, isn't it? How are you? So, look at my other video that I just did. It's called Be Human. Why did I name it that? I think we need to remember that anybody who has a bowel movement, and everybody does, if you don't, you're probably ill, and I'm not mocking you. I feel bad for you. Go get help, go get mended, be well. But if you don't, which I know you do, because you're human, and a lot of people think that their excrement doesn't stink. Mine stinks, yours stinks, everybody's stinks. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of people that think that they're better than other people, and they have this elitist mentality, and it's like, oh, please. It's not becoming for anybody. So I'm talking about being human. And one of the ways I am showing you my humanity is by showing you where it's at with me and my recovery from being pretty injured. So in the light of things, I'm doing very well, considering I deal with crazy people, having to deal with all this other stuff that's going on in my life, bending my body, legal stuff, nothing we did wrong, everybody else. So, it's challenging, and things like this always test your humanity, or at least it should test your humanity, and that's, you're in a good place if it is. So what do I mean by be human? Well, look at my other video. You can see, even though I'm thin, my body is not perfect. It's getting there. It's going to take a long time, though. And it's not for a self-serving purpose. It's to show you, to encourage you. You too can overcome your hurdles. You can turn that tragedy into triumph. Triumph over tragedy. My little slogan marks. You've got to do it for yourself. Don't do it because you think that's what other people think you should be doing. You've got to do what is good for you. So I decided that whatever the status quo is, throw that out the window, and I don't really care. I want to get back to where I was and some more and excel. And I can tell you, one of the things about turning this little tragedy into a triumph, it was very challenging for me to have to deal with physical injury. I did not like it. I don't ever want to have to do it again. Hopefully I won't. But if I do, we're ready to roll. We're looking into it. We're definitely, if this happens again, look into it legally. But we're looking into all of the legal ramifications, everything. Because here's the thing. I was whole and I was not damaged prior, and this is affecting my livelihood. It's affecting something I enjoyed very much. This is what I do. I have a degree in dance. I've been dancing since I was, three and a half, 4, almost 4. You saw the pictures with a little silver thing on my head, my little pink leotard with my little pink tutu. It was adorable, wasn't it? My little blonde streaks. Yeah, I know. People find that really interesting, that I was actually kind of, not a blonde, but I had blonde in my hair. A lot of it. Hilarious to me. A reverse skunk. I don't know. Strawberry and blonde hair. It was really interesting. So anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. Being human. Be human. Look at, guys, I showed you. I don't have huge folds in my body. I'm being very picky and particular. Look at this. This is pretty darn good, right? That's not even an inch. Maybe half an inch. But for me, it matters. For you, it might not matter. But for me, because I'm a dancer, I want my body to look a certain way. It's good enough for now. Oh, I know that. but I want it better. I'm going to take this opportunity not to be bitter, but to be better. But in the process, I am showing you my humanity because it is not a fun process. It was very hard to get through this. But, hold on just a second. I need to switch this around here. Got heaters going. I get cold very easy. Plus, we're all recovering from whatever this cold blue thing was. I got over it in, what was it, 2 days? Record for me. So my immune system is getting tougher and stronger. I'm eating even better. I'm learning so much about my body. Talk about, you know, becoming more humble or being humbled. That did it for me. Oh my gosh, I find out how much I don't know. I do know a lot, but the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know nothing. Not like that, but you get what I mean. So anyway, that is part of being human. Understanding your limitations. Okay, you got limitations. Understanding what your frailties and failures are so you can turn them into successes and strengths. I had to look at my body. It was broken. I didn't like the fact that, oh, I've got some lumps and bumps and things here that doesn't look attractive. I never had to deal with that before. So I had to work at it. And that's okay if you have to work at it. Don't be ashamed of it. I'm broadcasting it, okay? I don't look perfect right now. I look darn good, but I don't look perfect. I'm very proud of what I've done. I'm not saying prideful. I'm talking about I don't think I'm better than you, and I hope you don't think you're better than me type of an attitude. That's an elitist attitude. I want to be humble. So I am trying to understand my humanity. It was very an unattractive process. I have videos of it. We've made a documentary of it. I had to realize if I want to live up to the raw, real, uncensored DanceWarrior trademark, that's part of it. I am not going to look gorgeous on screen 100% of the time. My body is not going to look fit 100% of the time. But you know what? How can I help you if I'm a fake? Okay, there's a lot of fakes out there. There's fake news. There's fake people. I can't help you if I'm doing that. I'm not helping myself because you can't change what you don't accept. You don't realize it. If you don't acknowledge it, you have to embrace it. For better or for worse. And then if you don't like what you see, change it to the best of your ability. I mean, there's only so much we can do. And I had to understand that and accept my limitations. Like, we had to cancel our 2019 dance festival. I wasn't happy with that. But none of us were in conditions to be able to support you guys. It's a lot of work. It's like a parenting position, but with a lot of people. I'm not calling you guys babies, but it's a caring position. Let's put it that way. And there is a little bit of parenting, mentoring, whatever you want to call it. And you have to be able to give those people your undivided attention. Because if you don't, something's going to suffer. And since we didn't want to stress out our bodies, our mental faculties, our resources, and all that our festival entails, we didn't want to stress you guys out, because if we're stressed, you're going to be stressed. So we're like, you know what? There's no shame in postponing it. So we're used to doing, a lot of years we do 2. That's why we are embarking upon installment number 10, because we do double up. It actually might be up to 12 or 13. I'd have to check myself. We miscounted one year, but it's pretty high up there. We've done a lot, and we're proud of it. We want to give everybody as many opportunities as possible. So in realizing what it is to be human, it's realizing that you can't be everybody's 100% all the time. I couldn't even be my own 100% person for myself, and it's okay. So dance warriors, you have to, pardon me, you have to know what your limit is. And I know some of my old teachers and mentors and those people who were helping me back to the bar in a sense, you know, they scolded me a lot because I pushed myself and they thought I was pushing too hard. I still don't agree with that assessment, but I thank them for loving me enough to say something. I didn't hold it against them. Hopefully they didn't hold it against me. I mean, come on, this is dance. You know, get serious. But, I thank them for keeping me in mind and keeping my well-being in mind. There's nothing wrong with that to a certain extent, but I do know what's better for myself. But this time I had to have those people. Wisdom is having good counsel and knowing when to start and stop things. And we had to humble ourselves, as did I, and realize this is too much for us for 2019. We needed the extra time. We had a little performance. I had to give it a shot to see how I was progressing. I didn't do much. I sat on my husband's shoulders and I did a little port-de-bras in pain, This doesn't hurt as much anymore, but it really hurt that night. I was on a lot of pain meds, but I had to. I was cleared by my doctor to go back to work. So I did, but I couldn't handle, and none of us could, organizing a dance festival. That's huge, because not only do we have a performance for ourselves, it's the administration, it's marketing, merchandising, advertising. It's huge. There's so much involved with it. But we didn't want to give it up this year, and we're not going to. But hold on, I'm going to sneeze. No, maybe not. Okay. Seriously now, we all got pretty sick. We had to understand for 2019 to be human is to accept your humanity. We're not made out of metal and machinery. If we were, we probably would have sustained less injuries in the accidents. But because we are flesh, flesh will not meet well metal. You understand what I'm saying? You have flesh, which is organic, squishy. A piece of paper can slice. That video I did, a piece of paper can slice right through our skin. A piece of paper. Okay? You have all of that with impact, the force, inertia, speed, velocity, all of that with an accident. Thrusting your fleshly body up against a metal contraption. Okay? Do your physics quotients and all of that. Figure that one out. We did, and it's quite frightening. How fast the person was going. Were you stopped or were you moving? All of that factors in. And it factors in to your body. I never felt so much energy except childbirth going through my body. I could feel it. My whole left side went numb. It was like a lightning rod, and my left and right side just threw itself. Maybe that was a good thing. I could have been a lot more injured maybe if I didn't know how to do a release technique. I just went into it naturally as a dancer. And I remember my father telling me, you will be less injured if you don't tap this off, because he was in a severe accident himself. It ruined his life. He's amazed, and he's very grateful and thankful that I'm doing as well as I am. Similar circumstances, too. Which, we need to look into this. Just saying. So anyway, we find it very humbling to understand that it's okay to step back and to look, not step backwards. Obviously, we haven't stepped backwards, but to reassess. And I just want to give a message out there to everybody who's listening. We really hope it's not what it looks like. We really hope people are not trying to stop and suppress and just get rid of our dance festival, or us, or me, or stop me from dancing, because there's certain things that are very questionable to us, and we're asking the questions, and we opened up investigations because there's just too many questions that aren't just cut and dry, unfortunately. But we're gonna learn a lot. We've already learned a lot. So people, it's not a shaming thing to have to realize, oh, in my humanity, I've lost some things. But you know what? You can take that. It's not a weakness, okay? That's a totally different subject matter. It is what the locusts have eaten. You understand that terminology and that saying? It is what has been stolen from you. You've got to fight to get it back. Obviously I have. And I have those people, like we all do in our lives, that really hate me for it. I don't care. They're hateful people. Obviously. Who in their right mind wants something evil and wicked to happen? I mean, I don't even want that for my enemies, and I have some severe enemies. You know, I will have my day in court and justice and all of that. But even them, I don't wish a nightmarish incident on them. Not saying it didn't cross my mind, but in my heart, really, I'm not that kind of a human being. I don't want to be. Some people want to be that way, and I'm like, oh, you know, it's your prerogative, but you better check that before the Lord Jesus checks it. You know what I'm saying? That's another topic. But here's the thing, guys. You are loved, and you are too important, and people need you for you to not be your best human self. Don't let other people tell you what to do. Obviously, if you're doing something wrong, sinful, hurtful to other people, you better wise up and listen. If it hurts nobody and it helps people and helps yourself, addictions don't help anything. You hurt yourself, you hurt other people. All the sins, look at it, theft, covetousness, envy, all of this stuff, it hurts you first, and then it hurts other people. You know, God says, don't covet this, don't lust after that. There's a reason for it. This is a protection for you. Ask anybody who's had an affair. That's a protection for you. It's not that God didn't want people going around having sex. He just wanted it done in such a way that you wouldn't hurt yourself or other people. You protect yourself from having sexually transmitted diseases, etc., whatever you want to put in that blank. It's wise. This is our humanity. This is the excrement we have to deal with on a daily basis, myself included. We have to deal with our own selves. We have to deal with other people's selves and their BS, or maybe they're a blessing to you, so then there's not as much to deal with. But in all of this that we're going to call BS, you got to look at it for what it is. Oh, this car accident, the fact I was injured, the fact that my other beloveds and beautifuls were injured, it's all BS. We know that. But like I said, we're going to, oh shoot, a sneeze. No, maybe not. Sorry guys. We have to decide to be better or not bitter. So we're going full blast. So also in your humanity, right, we've got this thing called a heart. Our hearts don't look anything like this. And I'm not sure, that's an interesting thing. Where did the shape of a heart like this come from? Looks nothing like it. You ever see what our hearts look like? They're kind of like, I don't know, kind of like that. And they're a miraculous organ. It's what pumps the blood. It's like the engine of a car, isn't it? You want to keep that very soft and supple, strong. Exercise, the right food, the right things that you're ingesting. You want to keep the right people around you too. Life is too short. Boy, have we learned how short life is. And, you know, you see it flash before your eyes. It's a miracle we all survived. Not just once, but twice. You're thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, so are we. Don't worry, we'll have our day. It's coming very, very soon. I'm very excited about it. But guys, in your humanity, you have to decide to push on and press on. You can't wallow up. You can't wallow in your self-pity and board yourself up thinking, oh, woe is me. Yeah, you have to mourn. I had to mourn the loss of not only having 4 people in my family within 10 months are gone, some closer than others, but nonetheless, you know, if you're any kind of a human that has any kind of compassion, you're going to feel it. I haven't even had time to really mourn them because we're dealing with all this other garbage. It's almost like there will be time. We're fighting right now on the battlefield. On the battlefield, you don't take a vacation. You fight. There'll be time, I promise you, and I promise myself, if you're in this situation like us, there will be a time to mourn. You will have that time. So that's later. We got to deal with what's on the battlefield right now. I mean, could you imagine being in a real war and you're being shot at? You're not going to start crying because your best homie over here was blown up. Yeah, it's tragic. You're going to scream. You're going to react. You're going to do what you got to do. Try to save them, maybe, right? Save yourself, all of that. Save your other comrades. But you don't have the time to mourn. Okay? That part of your humanity, you got to lock that up. Why? Because you don't want to go down. You got to lock it up, secure it, and put it up here on the back burner and say, I got to get to that. When everything's quiet, when this is done, when we have won the war, that's when you take it off the shelf, you look at it, you do what you gotta do, and you take care of yourself. You cry, you heal, you deal with it. If you never deal with it, then you're gonna have a messed up brain, and you're gonna hurt other people. Yeah, that's how it goes. So, in your humanity, you must realize what is too much. I know, I can hear, I know, don't worry, I remember, I get it. I'm going to be a big enough woman to say, yeah, you were right sometimes, but there's sometimes you weren't, and you know that, and I know you're a big enough person now especially to accept that. So we're not perfect. Welcome to the club of being human, and it is okay. Yeah. So I am really enjoying my recovery process. I wasn't at first because I'm, like normal people, mad. I get mad before I cry. I get furiously ticked off. Then I think about crying afterwards. That is not my first response. My first response is anger. And then in my anger, I check myself. I don't want to sin. What do I do? And then the other steps come. I've learned through this process to not take it seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. And to know that you can heal and get better. And I'm going through that. And I'm really, again, I'm going to say this a million times. I'm very proud of myself. I'm so glad I was able to heal as far as I have. I am not okay with being in pain still. I am not okay with not being able to throw my neck back as far as I used to, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I'm going to get there. And let me clarify, I want to be able to throw it back the way I used to without any pain. My spine, the curvature of my spine was completely reversed. We're talking, you can see it in the x-ray. It is astounding how bad it was. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, explain, because I kept saying, I have pain here, and when you look at the x-ray, it's like, no, duh. I was diagnosed, I have tendinitis in my right shoulder. It's really, it starts from the shoulder blade. It's, they call it transferring pain, referring pain, something like that, I'm sorry, one of those. And it travels here and it pinches here. So now they diagnosed me with tendinitis and all. I've got so many of these diagnoses. And it's going to take oh my gosh, it's going to take a lot of work. I can't overuse my right shoulder. Look at some of my videos, right? You can see that I'm struggling. And you can see that it's like, oh my God, I'm in pain, I gotta stop, so I'm gonna be wise about it. That is also recognizing your humanity. And, I think it's beautiful to see. Don't let the media, guys, this media, it is a circus. You have to understand. They make money out of drama. And that can be out and out lies, or it could be heightening events. It can be exaggerating events. It could be a lot. But, I'm part of the media too. I do journalism. I do very integral journalism too. And part about being human, I think that the media needs to get a real swift kick in its rear end and understand that they have lost their humanity. Not everyone, but I would have to say more than not have lost their humanity. I know it's been a plague throughout journalism and the media for centuries, as long as the press was around, or even public speaking before there was a printing press. Pardon me. But You've got to understand something. We can change it. We can, you know that saying, we can be the change? A lot of people say that, but they're not doing what I'm doing. And if they are doing what I'm doing, we did some research and we found out that they were just prop-ups, you know. The corporations are the people wanting to control, you know, puppet the narrative. So it's like, grab an actor, put them here, they become the poster child or the speaker or the face of an issue. And they had really nothing to do with it. And a lot of this is not necessarily all of our own research. So the media comes along because they're hired, and it's like, remember what I said in the other video, if you want your nice house and the money and you want being in the public and you want everything that we gave you, then you've got to keep doing what we tell you to. And that's why when people were trying to vet me, I'm like, I don't think so. I do not want to be under your reign. I am an American citizen, and last I checked, we were not under the rule of communism. That's what that is. Corporate communism, come on now. You don't know this, you're not awake. Come on, beloveds. This needs to be in check. Just because it's too much for your noggin to handle, oh, it's a big sour pill to ingest, I get it. That's a hard one. But the sooner you get it, the more you're going to be able to deal with it and survive and actually get to do what you want to do in life. You know, it's important. It's important for your own sanity. But I don't see a lot of people doing what I'm doing. And now what will happen? The media will watch my video and prop up even more people. Come on, it's not gonna work. All we gotta do is go like this, you know, little Jenga blocks, and it's all gonna fall down. That is how fragile their system is. It never works. So also in your humanity, people, you need to figure out what part you have in all of this. Be on the right side of this stuff now. If you're on the wrong side of this stuff, it's not going to go well for you. It never does. We read the end of the book, and some of these books we've written, and movies. I mean, the good guys aren't always going to win. Might take some time. It's the law of nature. It's the law of ethics. It's almost physics even. Physics cannot function if you do not have factual truth. And that, my friends, is what we have found. They have none of their little Jenga bricks or the little cards in the cards of house, or the house of cards, sorry I said that backwards, is built on a foundation of actual truth. It's their perception of what they think is true. So in their humanity, I really hope they have a change of heart, because it will go better for them, you know. So in your humanity, know when something is not right with your body. Know when something is not right within your own world and within the world. Be brave enough to face it. I had to be brave enough to say, my body is broken again. But I couldn't fix it if I didn't accept that. I mean, I can put this Leo on with full confidence, knowing that, okay, the body is not 100% where I would like it. It's almost where it was, you know. But look, I can put it on and know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, hey, I look pretty good and I look pretty cute. You know, the middle isn't that soft. I have a little bit to work on. It's right. That's it. And right here, I want to make that really nice too. I want to improve. Now that I know so much more about physical rehabilitation of my body, now I can improve things that I couldn't do before. Look, I already showed you my shoulders. They were always here. Oh my gosh, that makes me, looking at that makes me, and I can see, and we have a little viewfinder, it makes me say, oh my gosh, relax, girl. Sorry, I gotta do this.